Hey, what's up guys? So 4 days ago, Nintendo released the update to their Nintendo Online system service, and it's really expensive, and I bought it anyway. But I wasn't happy about it, but I bought it anyway. And so I want to tell you guys about my experience so far since I've had it over the last 4 days. Before we get started, let me thank you so much for clicking on the video just to hear what some random guy on the internet has to say about a multicolored tablet. Like, it really means a lot, and if you like the video, consider giving it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, maybe hit that subscribe button. It really helps support the channel so much more than you realize just a little button click could do. It really does mean a lot. And if you want to see some of this gameplay of the games that we're going to be talking about today live, you can do that over on Twitch. We stream there every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can check that out at the link in the description as well. Would love to have you over there, and if you do, please let me know that you found the channel because of YouTube. I think that'd be really cool. Alright, let's get started. On Monday, if you live in the US, Nintendo released their expansion pass to their Nintendo Online service for a whopping $50 for the annual individual plan and $80 for the annual family plan. It's worth noting that currently there's not a monthly or quarterly option for this service. You can only buy an annual service. So maybe we'll get something like that in the future, but I honestly don't expect that. Now, lots of Nintendo fans, including myself, felt like this price was absolutely outrageous, but it really isn't going to matter because I and many of you are going to buy it anyway, and that's just how Nintendo rolls, and they know that. They know that we're going to do it, but it seriously is too much money. Now, if you get a couple friends together and you can split the cost of the family plan, it isn't too crazy. You're allowed up to 8 members, so best case scenario, you're out $10, so that's okay. And if you don't have any friends, I get it. So day one, I upgraded my plan and played a couple of games over on Twitch, and the N64 version actually played really well. I didn't have any issues when I was playing by myself. It's when I switched over to Sega Genesis that I started having some issues. Most concerning is that sometimes the game just wouldn't register an input at all. And that was really frustrating for games like Sonic when I was trying my best to not drown and I just needed to get up on a platform and it just wouldn't do it. Or for Echo the Dolphin when you have a dash button that is the B button and it wouldn't register at all. So here I am trying to jump over obstacles or take out jellyfish and nothing. Now, I don't know if the services can be interrupted depending on how many people are using it at once. I wouldn't think that is the case, but maybe I just don't know. I also haven't seen any updates for the service come across my Switch, but I may have missed one. All that I do know is over the course of the last couple of days, that problem has kind of solved itself, or maybe Nintendo solved it. So yesterday when I played Genesis, I didn't have any issues at all. So take that, jellyfish. Anyway, before making this video though, I thought, this is Nintendo Online. So I've got to test out the N64 split screen online options, especially for games like Mario Kart. So a couple of friends of mine all jumped into a round yesterday and we played some Mario Kart, and well, just take a look for yourself. One of those friends doesn't have the best internet service, but Woodhawker from Beat 'em Ups here on YouTube also played Mario Kart on N64 Online opening night with Bob Wolf from Wolf Den here on YouTube as well, and they had a great experience. They didn't really have any issues at all, except for audio cutting in and out at certain times. You know, it wasn't too bad. It was playable. So it's worth noting that your mileage may vary based on the number of players that you have inside of the service at once and the stability of your internet connection. It was also my first chance to actually try out Nintendo's solution for party chat by putting in my AirPods, getting out my phone, opening up the Nintendo Online app, and let me just go ahead and save you guys some heartache. Just do a phone call if that's your option with the person that you're playing with, or use Discord like a real gamer. Legitimately, it worked, but it wasn't that great, and I think that there are other options if you're going to have to use a second device to do chat. There are other options that will service you much better. So check those out. It's also worth taking a look at the mandatory mapping that Nintendo decided would be the best possible option for your gameplay. The N64 one is just weird, to say the least. The A and the B are effectively reversed of what they would have been on the N64 controller, and X became C down, and Y is C left. And it's really weird, and I've had a hard time wrapping my head around it. I think Nintendo was going for the two C buttons that would be closest to A and B on the N64 controller to be in the front-facing option. But if that were the case, it would have made more sense to remap it so that the leftmost button would be B, the bottom one would be A, the rightmost button would be C down, and the uppermost button would be C left, so that it kind of looked like that quadrant of the N64 controller. That would have made more sense to me. Now, I get it, Nintendo probably wanted to avoid the confusion of the A and the B being on something other than what is labeled on the controller, but that didn't seem to bother them with the Sega Genesis controller mapping, where Y is A and B is B and A is C. It's hard to see it in the diagram, but you can also use the right analog stick as a C button replacement, or you can hold down ZR and the face buttons become the C buttons, which would be really useful in a game like Ocarina of Time. This is also a big deal for those of you who want to use third-party controllers that are designed like the N64 controller or like the Sega Genesis controller, because since you cannot change the mapping of the buttons within the app itself, you really are just at the mercy of how that controller was designed, because there's no remapping available, or you're stuck spending $50 on the Nintendo official Sega Genesis controller or the Nintendo official N64 controller for the Switch. Now, I'm sure that we'll get a third-party controller eventually, but right now, that seems like your only option. And that's pretty much it. Now, I will say that when the games are working properly, I've had a really good time with the service. It's just not knowing if they're going to work every single time that I boot it up. That's not super cool to me. I guess it really just depends on what you like and whether or not this is something that would be worth the money for you. I guess if you have a family of 8 and you all play Animal Crossing and you love Animal Crossing and you want the DLC, this is a great way to save a little bit of money on the DLC so you all can have it. But if you don't like Animal Crossing, then I hate to say this, but you honestly might have a better experience or a more enjoyable time playing a lot of these games on your favorite emulator. Let me know what you think in the comments. I genuinely want to know if this is a value for you or something that you are planning on getting, or maybe something that you're going to pass on. And thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I know that I was just everywhere because I have so many thoughts on this, and I know that I can be a little negative towards Nintendo in the past, so I want to give them credit where credit is due, and that I genuinely have had a lot of fun playing this. It is too expensive, but I genuinely have had a lot of fun playing these games and reliving some nostalgia and having a great time. Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I will catch you in the next one. See you later.